Colonel Eric Swenson. He's the Deputy Commander of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers North Atlantic Division. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
So you were deployed in Afghanistan. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I was deployed to Afghanistan following 2 deployments to Iraq as we waged this war on terrorism following the devastating attack on New York City and the Pentagon at 9/11. It was an opportunity to go and support our nation and our armed forces as we, again, wage this war on terrorism for the nation.
And how are you feeling today on the 24th anniversary of 9/11?
I'm hopeful. As I walk around the streets of New York City and I see how this city has rebounded after the devastating attacks 24 years ago, we have a beautiful new World Trade Center facility. It still welcomes people from around the world, and people want to come here to remember that tragic event and to take that day back from the terrorists, and so make it our day, our special day for this city and for our nation.
And what do you want people to know about your service, the armed forces, the military?
Well, in particular about the Army Corps of Engineers, I'd love the nation to know that we support this nation. We are our nation's engineers. And as we did on 9/11, supporting the first responders who were evacuating people from this island and cleaning up the debris after the dust settled. We continue to do that today. We did that in Maui, we did that in LA for the wildfires. We continue to do that to support our nation, to remove public health and safety threats, and to allow people to live their lives here in the city and around our nation.
And are you able to tell us a little bit more about your military service and what's next for you?
So I just got to this job recently. I'll be in this job for at least a year, and then I'm going to transition to a job here in New York City, also with the Army Corps of Engineers, and continuing to support this city and this state under the Army and the Department of Defense as we accomplish our nation's goals to keep our navigation channels open to commerce, so we can keep the economic engine that really is the heart of New York City open. Also, we're working on flood protection projects, doing beach nourishment, really trying to improve the coastlines and the resiliency of this community against, against the ocean and against the environment.
And in our last 20 to 30 seconds, any further reflections on 9/11?
Again, it's a humbling to be here, be back in this city 24 years after the attacks. I still remember where I was on 9/11, and I knew that at that moment it was going to change my life. And several deployments later, it did change my life. But it is good to be back in New York with New Yorkers who are resilient. And I just hope that this day is a day of reflection for people, a day of hope, and we can get together to continue to advance the objectives of the city and our nation going forward.
Colonel Eric Swenson, thank you so much for joining us.